And the next organization we've got up is a fantastic new initiative from Unilever Food Service. And Sukru Dincer is here, and he's going to be talking about how you can improve kitchens and then really drive home that whole piece around employment to hopefully make us a better sector to be able to work in. So without further ado, Sukru.
Before I start, let me also take the opportunity to thank GRIF for giving us the opportunity to present the Fair Kitchens movement and bring it up into your attention. As James said, I'm working for Unilever Food Solutions, which is the food service arm of Unilever, operating in around 75 countries and serving more than 2.5 million restaurants around the world. And my job is the global marketing head for Food Solutions, but voluntarily I work for Fair Kitchens. And I'm going to tell you what the Fair Kitchen movement is about. In fact, throughout the day, so far, we heard many interesting quotes and insights why we need a movement like this. Like, for instance, values increasingly more important for everybody, authenticity, a sense of purpose. We heard from ABN AMRO that staffing is actually a key issue in the European restaurant sector. We heard from Vapiano that no matter how beautiful the restaurant might look like, if you don't have the right people and the concept, it might easily fail. And that's why what we do and why we do, and the purpose and the people part is very important, because sometimes food service is referred to a B2B business, but ultimately it's a P2P business, a people to people. Like, for instance, if you think about the kitchen environments, companies like us, we serve the people working in the kitchen, and they serve the people on the table. It's a people-to-people business, therefore. And in that people dimension, like we have heard from many presentations, also in the UK, in the Ireland conversation we had a moment ago, we heard it repetitively that it is the critical factor for the industry to become sustainable and successful into the future. And I'll share you the North America data. If you like, that's a piece of information we obtained from the North American Restaurant Association. And if you see the first line on the top, the recruitment as well as retention, mainly the staffing issue, is the biggest and the growing issue of the industry. And while we are searching into this, as Unilever Food Solutions, we made research around 5 countries in the world. And these are Indonesia, China, North America, UK, and Brazil, quite a diversified set of countries. And interestingly, what we have found, unfortunately, is a set of inconvenient truths, if I may say so. And around 3/4 of the people that we spoke, they have sleep deprivations. And these are people working in the kitchens. About more than 50%, they feel they are pushed to the breaking point. They have significant eating and drinking problems, and these are people working in the food service industry. And many of them feel that they don't have a future, and ultimately they quit and they go to other jobs. With a picture like this, a people-to-people industry, can it be sustainable from people's perspective? I think we should be really doing something about it, and this is where the Fair Kitchens, we thought, could come into the picture as a collaborative, collective movement to raise the standards, to make a positive impact to the industry from people perspective.
I've been in a
Let's watch the
restaurant
video.
where, yes, I was tough, I was shouting, I was pushing. And one day, 12 chefs out of 18 didn't show up to work.
Sometimes you only feel the stress factor of the job.
Our vision has become to make the 17 million restaurants around the world better place to work, what we call fair kitchens. And as a result, they're more successful, they're more profitable, and consumers actually want to make the choice to go to those restaurants because they are fair kitchens.
You get to retain your staff for much longer because they believe in your goal, because they love coming in here, because they feel comfortable, because they've worked in so many other restaurants where they weren't treated the same. You know, a lot of places call themselves a family, but this truly is.
If I'm honest with people, and everyone is taught how to cook, not just told to do it better, I can give you a positive workplace.
The creativity that they can have, the freedom that they have, you can see on a day-to-day, and it's full restaurant every day.
So this is the essence of it. With the help of the chefs around the world, we have created a behavioral manifesto. And in their own words, it's about talking openly, it's about exciting with passion, it's about acting as one, as a team in the kitchen, making time for each other, and most importantly, say a good job and thank you when they are doing a good job. The psychology that we have found, these people are working in, imagine yourselves as actors in theater, and every evening you perform, but against a closed curtain. Because you don't get any recognition, any response back, and you do it every other day, every other night. So that is the starting point of the Fair Kitchens movement, and we believe if we can create the right collectivity around this, we can collectively make a positive impact to the industry. It is supported digitally with an app about mentoring, training, how we can actually improve the standards, primarily behavioral standards in the kitchen. And the ambition we have with this movement is not only for the people working in the kitchen, but also for the restaurant brands, because ultimately this might grow into a point of preference, and people having Fair Kitchen on their part of their restaurant branding might well be also the restaurants chosen actively by the guests in the food service. So having talked about it so much, and being just between lunch and you in that respect, let me ask you a question, and I want to see your response in this case. Imagine that this piece of meal, and if you knew that this was prepared by people who are worked sleeplessly, who are mistreated, or worse when it comes, if they are abused. Knowingly, would you still enjoy this piece of meal? Can I please see who says yes? So please, next time, think about it in your premises, in your operations, in your investments. This is the human aspect that we haven't talked about until now in food service, and it needs to be talked. Because ultimately, and the second subsequent question, should a meal cost someone's well-being? We believe it should not be the case. That's why we believe Fair Kitchens is an important partnership. It's not an agenda for competition. It's actually an agenda for collaboration for all of us. And these are the first partners who joined us in Food Solutions, Chefs with Issues, Chef's Role, Chefware, and we wish to grow this partnership going forward to make a positive impact to the industry. So the summary I want to leave you with, food service, as we all know, is a people business. And staffing is the biggest problem that we cannot escape anymore. And Fair Kitchen, with the starting point I introduced into you, could be the positive kitchen culture, could be the antidote to address this issue around the world. It is not a campaign. It's a social movement with a human cause at the heart. Nothing more than this. And it's not only relevant for operations, as I try to explain to you, it is also relevant and it matters for the people who eat in that restaurant. So with all that in mind, if you still believe that a meal should cost someone's well-being, please not bother about it. But if you really genuinely believe that it should not cost someone's well-being, then please join us, join the website. We have a very nice booth out there. Come to us. We are here today, tomorrow, always available, and more than happy to see you part of our collaboration and partnership going forward. With that, I thank you very much for listening to me, and I thank you even more if you choose to join us. Thank you.